biggest differentiators for Founders Live is like, there's a lot of networking events you can go to, and there's not really a foundational part of like core values, like what are the beliefs, what are the things here, and what really struck me, the one that really sticks with me and struck me early on is just how inclusive it is, and just like everybody is welcome. And now being a part of the leadership team, I also know like globally that's our stance, like that. Look, we want equality for everybody in entrepreneurship, regardless of how you look, what financial demographic you fall into, any of that stuff.
As I find myself in each of these cities and each subsequent event, you start to really look at things a bit differently, and you start to look for patterns and or look for, I don't know if you even say commonalities, but that's something that I'm obviously just in search for as I continue to travel through Founders Live. And one thing that has become very, very apparent is really why we've expanded and why we attract our city leaders and our community. And it really comes down to our core values. Our core values are created to not only differentiate us from the ecosystem and other brands and communities, but they are near and dear to my heart and everyone else as well. And just a little story. As I created Founders Live, one of my coaches at the time asked me a very important question. He asked me what I care about, what matters to me that we can encapsulate that becomes a structure for what the company and the brand believes in, stands for, and is bringing to the world. And what resulted from that was our core values. And the Founders Live core values really do kind of showcase and explain where I'm coming from or what I care about. But over the last 10 years, they've really morphed into what we stand for and what we care about.
Founders Live is definitely something that is allowing founders to highlight their ability to change the world on a global scale. Founders Live is really giving the opportunity to showcase and highlight just exactly what the spirit of entrepreneurship and the spirit of startup world looks like on a monthly basis, city to city, coast to coast, internationally now. It's been a blessing to see just how many founders this is their first opportunity pitching, where they've done all the hard work of putting together a product or putting together a service or putting together some kind of technology and gathered a team around them with love and support that they work in diligently, but they haven't had the opportunity to showcase that like to the world or somewhere else. And Founders Live has kind of been that place where they get that chance and that opportunity to really bring what they've been working on to the world for the first time. And you wouldn't be surprised how many people I've interviewed or talked or put together profiles on, where it's just like, this is my first time pitching and I was so nervous. And I'm like, you crushed it. You did such a great job. All the pieces are in place for you to succeed, and we're just happy to be a part of your journey.
And there's a lot of great organizations, a lot of great events out there, but there's an energy about Founders Live, which is kind of fun. Events are always put out there to make connections, to build relationships, to network. But I think that when you design an event around coming together authentically, there's a focus on that. And because there's a focus on that, I think, there's a mindfulness that we all kind of keep in the back of our minds that, no, this is an authentic community. These are authentic conversations. And there's something attractive about authenticity. Being a startup founder is challenging. I mean, there's more low moments than there are high moments. I don't need to go around where all these people are talking about how successful they are and how they're going to get funding here or whatever it might be. When the reality is, the struggle that I'm facing is what 95% of failing businesses are going to go through, or the ones that succeed even more so. And so it's just this, it's just a great place to get regrounded, but still stay positive. And that's a hard thing to do sometimes.
Part of why we're expanding and growing around the world is these 5 things. We have core values that are tremendously important, and you feel them here. You already feel them here. So the first one is respectful authenticity, and that means that you be your respectful, authentic self. You respect others, but also you're respecting others in their authentic self, and that really comes down to inclusion, and it comes down to people feeling like they belong. And they're not ostracized or, oh, hey, we just want all males on stage pitching. No, we believe anyone can, should, and will be successful when they get those opportunities. So please understand the respectful authenticity. The second one, you're seeing it, is gathering around the campfire. And this is about building community and telling stories. Just like our ancestors, many years ago, gathered around the campfire. They told stories. They were entertaining their community, and we're doing it even in this day and age. And you're going to hear 4 founders actually tell stories of their vision of what they're building, and it's really a unique aspect of really supporting that community. So gather around the campfire. We're all storytellers, and we want to entertain. The next one here. There we go. Open the door. This is a very important one for me in the sense of doing great things for people without expecting a return. That's actually how community really works. So help them, introduce them, provide feedback. How can you help people in your ecosystem and community? And simply say, hey, I'm just, no worries. Because what happens is it comes back to you, right? That's really the give first mentality. And this is really how Founders Live has grown. It's been amazing. The fourth one, just a fun one, business equals fun. We encourage you to think about what you do in a fun manner. You get up every day and you're working. I would hope that it's actually enjoyable and fun. And if you have that perspective on how you're going about things, we encourage that. And it makes things really great. Last one, important one, climate consciousness. And this is something that we're all noticing and feeling. So we encourage you to view, operate, and measure your business in a climate conscious manner. And if you do that as an early company, clearly you're going to do that as a very large company. And if we can be leaders in that, hopefully we can have an impact in as our world continues forward and help mitigate what's going on. As I travel the world, visit all of our cities, it just becomes clearer and clearer how important core values are to a brand, a company, and even leaders of our industry. So I encourage all of you, take some time to think about your core values. What's important to you? What do you want to stand for, not only as leaders, but also your brand in the market? And not only write them down, but talk about them, share them to the world. And I can tell you one thing, you will be surprised at how far and how big your core values can take your company.